Hello guys, welcome back. Before continuing today's video, I would like to thank each and every one of you who have been part of this channel. We have now a solid 10k subscribers in this channel. If you are new to this channel, then yeah, please do subscribe. There will be more educational videos in the future. So what is today's content? If I go to the playlist, I have been creating the videos recently about making the better RAG approaches, right? Now, if you see one of the main use cases in the LLM field right now, maybe it be a personal project or in the enterprise level also, RAG is the main one. Everybody wants to feed data into LLMs and have the chatbot provide the answer for us, right? So if you are new, again, here are some of the contents already being provided. But in this video, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to explore this unstructured library. Because in the RAG pipeline, this comes into the first place where you clean the documents. Why is this necessary? Because there will be different formats of data, right? So I will be showing you about the unstructured, and there will be many videos in the pipeline, because this is the first video where I will be explaining you about the unstructured. Next one will be also about how to extract the table informations from the PDFs. Third one will be how to integrate this into LangChain, and in the future, if I find more useful things, I will be adding in this playlist. And if you want to find the code, you can go to the GitHub repository here, YouTube stops, and there is a data cleaning folder being created. Inside here, there is data where I will be adding the used data in these videos, and this is the first notebook here. So yeah, just clone that. I have already cloned it. Here you can see all the contents. I have activated the virtual environment. I hope you know these kind of things. So once this is done, here we are in the notebook. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, this is the notebook. Now this is the unstructured, and I have provided some of the links. So first, briefly, let's go through this. Okay, what is unstructured, right? I will bring this here. So get your data RAG ready. So this is what their main tagline here is also, right? So you can go here and see what they are doing. So you can connect, transform, stage LLMs and enterprise data, many things. Just go here, any document, any file type, any layout, unstructured data that's hard to manipulate. So unstructured takes care of it. So there are many ways how they are taking care. I will be explaining you in this video. And there is also this GitHub link, and there is also the documentation of the unstructured. So just feel free to go through in your free time. So what we will be covering in this introductory video is how to use the unstructured open source package. And next one is how to use the Python client. So that will be unstructured API services, where we will be using the API, right? So yeah, if you want to know more information, again, here is the link. You can go to this link, click here. It will take you to this unstructured GitHub page, and there are different repositories in there. First thing first, we need to install the necessary package. So here I have installed the unstructured all docs. There is unstructured client for the SDK, and there is the watermark in order to show you what version of the unstructured I'm using, because many of you find this challenging. Okay, my version does not work. What is your version, right? So this watermark package is really good. I load here, and this is just the import ignore things, import warnings to just warning control, and I import the necessary things here. So here is just the import JSON from the IPython display JSON. This is the client part, so we will be using the API, and here is the core unstructured, and I'm going to show you the two functionality, partition PDF and partition HTML in this video. And yeah, load watermark. I think I did it 2 times. I can delete this here, and when you run this percentage watermark --i versions, then you will see what version of the packages we are using. So I hope now you know which versions to install in the future when you are watching this video, right? And one thing is also, like, if you want to know what are the different types of the formats this unstructured supports, because there is this unstructured.partition, and inside there, if you just provide import this and help, and provide this here, it will show you all the packages in unstructured, like help on package unstructured dot partition. So you can see here there is the API auto common CSV doc, many different file formats, right? That's the reason I'm going to explore this, because many companies are now using unstructured. It would be also helpful for your personal projects as well as in the enterprise level data. So yeah, that is the normal things and some facts here, right, before continuing. And if you want to know in depth, let's say full installation, I have provided the link. Please follow this, because unstructured behind the scene uses different mechanisms to capture the data. So it might not work, let's say for all the machines, but in this documentation they have explained for Windows and for different setting of for local inference and so on. If you still find difficulty, use the API. I will be showing you how to use that. And also you can use the Docker installation, so it might be easier because it will be in a Docker bundled thing, but it's up to you which one you want to use. But just a reference here that there is a link for you to do that. So yeah, now let's go with the PDF first, right? What I'm doing here is from unstructured.partition.pdf, I'm importing the partition PDF. It seems to be small, but many things is taken care by unstructured here. And I provided the file name, and if you go into the data, which I have uploaded in the GitHub also, there is this GPT for all PDF. And this is just the PDF paper which explains the GPT for all paper, right? It was 6 November 2023, right? Now I can go to this here, and I'm just passing partition PDF and the file name here. So what it does is returns a list of elements present in the pages of the parsed PDF document. So yeah, this is all you need to run, and once that is done, you can see there are the elements, and it is shown in this format here, and we can say there are 134 different, let's say, the partitions there. And if you want to see what is the content inside this element, so here is the example here. You can see there is the type, this is the uncategorized text, there is element ID, what is the text that is being in that particular partition, what is the metadata, coordinates, and it also shows that the file type is application PDF, right? This is the normal, you can see here 3 lines of code. It takes all the information out of that PDF and uses its own techniques to do that, right? That is one thing. And the next thing, how we can achieve the same is using the API, right? So here let's use the Python SDK to do the same. The link is here, you can go to there, and for SaaS API visit this link, and for free unstructured API you can visit this link. If I just go to this link, it will ask to fill the form. So you can see here unstructured, you need to fill the form, and this you need to have your credit card provided. But in this free one you don't need to provide the credit card, but you can see that there is some limitation how much of the API call you can make. So the API uses limit is 1000 pages per month and so on. But to get started, this free unstructured API is enough. But I'm using the SaaS API in this case. So for using the API keys, you need to of course go and create the account as I said you before, and then you need to first install python.env to use the environment variables, right? Here I will be providing you the example. So here you can provide the API keys, and one thing to remember is if you are using the free version of this unstructured, you don't need to care about the SaaS server URL. But if you are using the SaaS, then you need to provide the API key as well as the server URL, right? So yeah, once that is done, what I'm doing here is loading the environment variables from the .env file. And here I'm just os.environment.get, I'm getting those environment variables and passing that into the unstructured client, right? Once this is passed into the client, what you can do now is, of course, this is the normal importing things that we already imported in the beginning. You can see that this unstructured client is for the APIs, right? So now what you can do is just the file, you can provide the file, and you open this file here, and it is in the files shared.files, right? It is from these models we are importing this shared, and then here we just pass shared.partition parameters, and we just pass these files here, and that's it. This is just the try and accept where we are saying okay client or general partition, and we are passing this request and we are getting the response out of it. So you can see that this is the response. You can see all it is being extracted from there. And if you want to see also the, let me scroll down. So what is the content type? It is the JSON. Of course we are getting the JSONs. And if you want to see the elements inside these extracted things, you can see that there is this title, there is this element ID, text, metadata, page number, file type, and file name, right? That is the metadata that is being extracted. So you can see the formats using the API as well as the normal unstructured package is the same, right? So this is the two different types of going through that. And the next one, okay, here I have also printed how many are there. So there is 134 as before, and just one you can just print like this, right? We don't need to go into this. And also if you want to know what is being extracted, so I have just provided some helper things here. So if you go inside the elements and say, okay, what is the type, right? There is this uncategorized text, there is the title, and there is the narrative text. Why I am showing you this is because in some of the PDFs there might also be the tables, right? So we haven't actually extracted just particularly for the tables. That is in the next video. I will show you how to extract just for the tables, because when you extract the information in this basic format, the table information is also extracted, but it is not that accurate. So it extracts the information, but it might not be suitable to get the answer out of it. So we need to process that separately, right? Okay, now what we are going to do is calling the unstructured API from the unstructured open source library, right? So here if you go to the link, you can see here that SAS unstructured API. So this is only for the SAS. So if you go down here, what you can do is you can just use this API key and API URL, and the API URL for your SAS looks something like this, right? So you need to point to the general v0 general. So to just overcome that, what I did here is I just get the base URL and then just append that, or I just concatenated that with the base URL. So you get the API URL, right? So I'm just importing the partition via API now, and then there is the file, the same file being provided here. There is the elements partition via API, right? And then the file name, API key, API URL. When you pass this, you can see that the elements are exactly the same before we extract it from the normal partitions PDF. And you can see this is 134. And if you go inside also, you can see there is the title, element ID, text, metadata, page number, file, on all the different things. You get that we went through 3 different ways how to extract the information, right? And as I said before also, there is the table extraction from PDF. So that is what I am going to show you in the next one. But one thing that you need to be also seeing here is we are just going through this PDF here, right? But we can also go through the HTML. Okay, one question that you might be thinking is, okay, why should we use Unstructured and not other tools, right? Because there is one really good way how you can use Unstructured. You can use Unstructured for different file formats, as I said before also. And then now here is example for the HTML. I showed you 3 different ways how to read the PDF. The same approach can be taken for the partition HTML. So it is just the same, just a different function, right? So here you can see that we are saying from unstructured partition HTML, we are importing the partition HTML. We are providing the HTML file. So this is just a normal file that I have taken from my Medium post. So just to show you, so for this particular HTML file, if you go to the file, you can see there is this inside the data, there is robust rag HTML, right? So this is the HTML file that I have been saving. Okay, right click, save as, and then .html. So it also support the HTML. Just to show you that I am providing this file type, and you can see that all other things are the same. So meaning that you can just provide the same format of the code with just the one function different. And if you see here, the extracted information is exactly in the same format with some additional URLs if it finds the URL. Otherwise you can see the file type, and there is this metadata, category, depth, and all the different things are the same. Meaning that why I'm showing you this, as you can see here, it is also the same format here, and you can see the length of elements and so on. It is really good that, let's say that you have 10 different file formats to process. and it would be really difficult if you have to write different functions or different ways how to deal with those different file formats. But here with the unstructured, I find it myself easy to process all the different files in one way, so that we can use the same function. Let's say we create a one function with just different parameter we can use for different file formats, so that would be really easy, right? So yeah, that's all I want to show you in this intro video. It already went quite long, but you get the idea that using unstructured, it's really easy to extract the information out of it. This is just the intro video, as I said you. In the next one, I will show you how to extract the table informations from the PDF, so we can preserve the information from the PDFs. And then, as I said you also before, I will be going through the LangChain implementation also, and we will create a RAG applications to see how the information will be extracted and so on. So yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you learned something new today. I just want to focus on this making data better approach, because that is the main place where you should spend lots of time into it. So once you have the good data, then you can use any models, I would say, because many of you said that I want to use the open source models, but what is the better way, right? So this is the better way. Just prepare your data really in a good format, so that the LLMs can get the right content or context out of it. So always don't go with the big models, because as you can see that not only the big models can perform better, with the small models also, if you have the good parameter set there, it works better. Yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.